I'm Micah.
And I'm Shane.
And you have found the Fountains of Youth, your go-to podcast for those seeking to stay forever young in mind, body, and spirit.
Is it possible the two youths?
Two what?
It's gonna be lit, fam.
Hey there, welcome back to another exciting episode of Fountains of Youth. I'm your host, Micah, and joining me as always is the spirited and effervescent Shane. How's it going, Shane?
I don't know, but I can't spell that. But I'm doing good, and I'm excited to be here for another round of fun and games, and I think it's going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we are delighted to have, as a guest, one of the chillest dudes you'll ever meet, Mr. Jeremy Timmons.
How are y'all doing today?
Oh, we're good. We need a little round of applause for that guy. And let's not forget about our technical director behind the cameras. We got Michael.
How's it going?
Well, Michael's here to chime in when we need him, and he brings his youthful perspective. We appreciate that. And of course, he's always ready to fact check any wild claims that we might make.
Like
right.
if pandas are on loan from China.
We might need to look that up.
Gotta look that one up.
Check it out.
Oh, awesome. Well, let's give our listeners a taste of what's coming up on today's episode. Shane, what do we got?
So let's get ready for some lively debate as we dive into a new segment we're calling Binge or Cringe, where we'll discuss various topics and decide whether they're binge-worthy or cringe-worthy.
Okay. We'll also get to know our guest and his personal journey in a segment called Grilling Jeremy.
And of course, what's a podcast without a game? We'll be playing a classic round of Taboo, putting our communication skills to the test and seeing who can guess the most words under pressure.
It's going to be an action-packed episode, so sit back, relax, and get ready for some fun and inspiration. So let's dive in.
All right.
All right. We like to dive in, of course, with our fountain moments. So let's kind of think back. Ooh, speaking of fountain moments, we got some rain right now.
Yeah, it is coming
pouring
down right now.
I don't know if y'all hear that.
I can.
Yes.
Yeah?
Shane says God's pouring one out for Ponce right now.
I did
so
not say that.
That's good. Shane, you been in the fountain lately?
I have been in the fountain. I kind of double dip from a couple of weeks
Okay.
ago or a couple episodes ago where I went fishing again.
In a fountain?
In a fountain, a large fountain. And
Behind the courthouse?
behind the courthouse is this fountain. But anyway, we did go, Carol and Lauren and I went and caught some fish.
Because you hadn't gone fishing prior to...
I have not been fishing in probably, gosh,
and now
20
twice
years.
in the
Yeah,
last
in
month
about
here.
a month.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, and I really did. I grew up. My dad would take us fishing when we were little, and I remember years ago, like when I was little, and my nephew was like, even younger than I am. We were at Cape Fear River, and he was fishing on the bank there by the bridge on 42, and he fell in the river. He was like 3 years old.
Oh,
And
my.
my dad had to jump in the river
Nice.
to get him. So,
Hey,
but he loves fish now. He fishes tournaments.
fishes kids out of the water.
Yeah, fishes them out. But yeah, so that was mine for
Nice.
this week. Yeah.
Jeremy, got any fountain moments?
Well, actually, talking about falling in the water, so this weekend we had a cookout at my sister's house, and they have a pool. And my brother-in-law had a bunch of his coworkers over, and they brought all their kids. And of course, I look out at the pool, my son's saying, "Oh, I want to go get in the pool, Daddy." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you can go get in the pool. It's like 70 degrees outside, so the water's going to be freezing." And I look, and there's a bunch of kids, and I'm like, "All right, you know what? No, I'm going to join them." So,
All right.
yeah, I jumped in a pool when it was absolutely freezing and played Shark Attack with my son and a bunch of other
Yes.
kids this weekend.
Is there any chance that your decision to do that was influenced by this podcast?
Actually, yes. I've been a pretty avid listener.
There you go. All right. Michael, you been in the fountain?
Yeah, been playing some pickleball this last week with some other young adults and just being youthful, playing sports. Been
Wait a
lot of
minute.
fun.
Wait a minute. Isn't that like an old man sport?
Is it?
That's like the
Is that
opposite
an
of
old
jumping
man
in the
sport?
fountain.
It is, but you were
Well.
playing with young people.
I was
There you
playing with
go.
young people, so I think
Oh,
that makes.
man.
I think
I don't
that covers
know.
up for
You're
it,
too
right?
young to... Yeah, I don't know. No, that's great. I had a tiny fountain moment the other day. We were out for Mother's Day. Shout out to the mamas. And went to the Lego store. And normally in the Lego store, I'm like, look, but don't touch. We're not going home with anything and whatever. But they had these little bins where you can assemble little characters. And it's like $10 for 3. And it's completely ridiculous. But I was like, hey, the boys wanted to get some. And Like, you know what? I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make a character. So I made the most ridiculous little characters, and I'll have to post one on the socials. There, my little cowboy dude, and yeah, he's pretty cool.
You'll probably step on them.
Yes.
Tonight.
Oh, no doubt. They're all over the house. It's out of control. All right. Well, those are our fountain moments here, and I feel like we need something. I just can't put my finger on it. You know what we need?
Probably joke of the day.
I think we need a joke of the day. You guys like wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling? Yeah. How does The Rock pee?
How does The Rock pee?
He Dwayne's his Johnson.
Hey. Hey, yo.
And our joke of the day is brought to you by the WWE.
Okay. WWE.
Great people.
Formerly WWF.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the Panda Bears.
NWA.
Or not.
Yeah. All of that.
All right. Well, great stuff. Well, we are excited about a brand new segment here. And this is one of these segments that you can sort of do anytime, anywhere. And we'll probably just kind of randomly bring it up in the podcast. And it's called binge or cringe. Binge or cringe. So, of course, binge meaning we love this thing and we want more of it. Cringe means no thank you. And so our goal in this is we're going to bring up some topics that are maybe a little, could go either way. But you have to take a stand one way or the other. So there's no like, I'm right in the middle. You've got to stand by whatever you got. Okay. So we're going to bring up some topics here and you just got to decide binge or cringe. Surely play at home here. And if you have some topics that you want to bring up, we would love to entertain those next round. So binge or cringe. So Shane, you got a binge or cringe you want to throw at us?
I do. Lauren helped me a little bit with this.
Okay.
I was asking her.
Okay.
But I asked her, what was a binge or cringe? And she said, I'm not sure how I feel about the socks with the toes in them.
Okay.
Toe
Okay.
socks.
So these are socks that your toes,
Individual
like little
toes.
gloves.
Yeah,
for
for your feet.
This is not like the shoes.
No.
Jeremy,
These
you
are
ever have
socks.
those? Because weightlifters got into those Vibram 5-finger things.
Yeah, so in college, I had a pair of the Vibram toe shoes,
Ah.
and
But not the socks.
not the socks.
Okay.
I feel like that's a girl thing. Those the socks with the toes.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right,
sure.
so this is going to be binge or cringe, not just for you, but for everybody.
Right.
So would you want to see somebody with them on binge or cringe? Jeremy, to get us started here.
Ooh, I'm about to go binge on that one.
Binge, okay.
Just joking. I'm completely against feet. That's a cringe.
I was getting ready to cringe.
I am currently cringing. I'm going to go cringe as well. Michael, what do you got?
I guess binge. I don't know.
Okay,
Just-
okay.
Just to spice up a little bit. I mean,
All
hey,
right.
you know what? You want to wear something different on your feet than regular old socks? Go for it.
Quick question. When's your birthday?
January 5th.
All right.
Why?
Christmas.
Too late.
We know what we're getting you. So I'm gonna go with a classic here. Pineapple on pizza. Pineapple on pizza. Binge or cringe? Shane, what are you thinking?
I'm binging.
Binging?
We're gonna differ on that one. I'm gonna cringe.
Cringe. Michael?
Cringe.
Cringe. I'm going binge.
Yeah.
All right, we go
Oh, yeah.
50-50. I like it. That's a good binge or cringe if
Yeah.
we can split the room.
All right.
All right. Shane, you got another one?
Yeah. Bidets.
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 All right. So for some of our audience, our non-traveling audience, we might need to clarify what a bidet
Our
is.
European friends
Our European
know all about
friends know
this.
what that is.
So it's a toilet with a fountain of youth.
That's hilarious. And I'm trying to figure out like my brother I think got one, and I'm trying to figure out like the point. Like I get the point, like washing, but I'm like, does that mean you just walk around with a wet butt all day? Like,
Well, I think you still got to wipe, too.
so what?
So what's
All
I don't know.
All right, that's double up. All right, go ahead, Jeremy. What do you got?
I'm honestly, I'm gonna say binge. I've used one before, so
Okay,
yeah.
Cringe.
cringe.
Just why? Why?
Especially if it's cold.
What? Ooh.
Gotta
Yeah,
cringe.
I'm gonna go for a stunner here and say I'm gonna say binge,
Mm.
but I've never done it, so let's go.
Okay.
Got to try it out, man.
So
Yeah.
my birthday is in October. So. All right, next up, tent camping. Camping in tents.
I'm cringing.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
100% binge.
Binge. Michael?
I'd binge that, yeah.
Yeah, binge.
Snapchat filters. Binge or cringe?
Oh, here we go.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to cringe on that one, especially after one got put on me at a small group.
Do we have photo evidence?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Actually, I do have
We
it
need
right
to
here.
send that. Yeah, we'll send that around. That'll be good to include. Michael, what do you say?
I'd also say cringe.
Cringe? I'm going to say binge just for the entertainment value.
Mhm.
You can keep a 3-year-old busy for like
True.
an hour
This
playing
is
with
true.
those filters. So, and I love seeing the reactions when they get all mad when there's a mustache on their face.
Or a spider.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Speaking of mustaches,
Mm.
binge or cringe mustache.
Guy or girl?
We'll say guys. Make it
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, I'll say binge.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be 2 more binges in this room right
I
now.
was gonna say. What do you got, Jeremy?
I'm definitely a binge on this.
Yeah, yeah. Michael?
Standalone mustache or like with a beard?
I mean, a mustache has got to be standalone.
Standalone. I'd say cringe actually.
All
Putting
right.
on the mustache, cringe.
Yeah, I'm a binge, and if you haven't, we try not to be too visual on the podcast because we want, we are audio first, we say. But I mean, last week we had some visual elements in there, and we'll try to post some of those things on the socials. But if you get a chance, YouTube and Spotify listeners, you guys can see the video along with that. But Jeremy and I were both sporting mustaches today, so it was in the cards.
Yeah, I mean, normally I have the beard, but today, like,
It
without
was-
even knowing about
yeah.
this, I had the stash.
Yes, and your wife said what? She's like, you can be on the podcast if,
I got rid of the mustache.
but I sent you a selfie and you knew you had to keep it. So
Oh, I even screenshotted it and sent it to her, and I said, "Yeah, it's staying."
it's staying. Good. Well done. Well done. Good. Shane, you got one more?
I got one more. Nutella.
Nutella. Ooh. Ah.
Well, I'm gonna 100% say binge. If you've been to France and had a Nutella and strawberry crepe, binge it.
Yes. Yes. Michael.
Cringe.
I'm gonna match the binge there. I was not a Nutella fan, but Jeremy and I were in Paris, France. Yeah, and we saw a really
We.
we had some really good crepes there, and they covered that with Nutella. It's a winner.
I think it was the strawberry that probably made it good.
It was a Nutella. Are you cringe?
Cringe.
Cringe. Okay, there we go. That was an excellent binge or cringe. All right, one last binge or cringe. Gen Z slang. Binge or cringe.
I can binge it. Yeah.
All right.
I have to cringe it.
Michael.
I gotta binge it. You know I gotta. Binge.
Yes. I'm going to say binge for entertainment purposes only, as long as you actually know how to speak like an adult.
True. Little caveat there. Yeah.
Speaking of Gen Z vocab, I think it's time for our Gen Z vocab lesson brought to you by our wonderful, youthful, awesome technical director, Michael.
How's it going?
You got any good words for us today?
You've got a word, a phrase, a
Okay.
3-letter something.
All right.
NPC.
NPC. We're not talking computers here.
Well, it's got a double meaning, but I'll let y'all guess the second. Obviously, the first one is like
Okay.
a non-playable character in a
Okay.
video game
Which
or
I
computer
think
thing.
is an outstanding phrase and a terrible insult.
Yes.
So, I mean, have you guys heard of NPC before?
Mm-mm.
Only the first definition.
Okay. So you have heard of that. Because I think that's like, that's when I first heard. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about, NPC? And it's, a person in a video game that you can't control and they're just kind of background. And so that's kind of an insult to say somebody you're just kind of in the background, not doing much. So I will occasionally sling this at my students. They'll be walking through late to class. Or something. Look at this NPC walking in late,
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
It's a pretty good dig.
The second definition is a person with such little originality and brain power that they are the most bland human on the planet. Sort of like, the rest of that doesn't
it's
matter.
in the same vein.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Same
All
vein.
right, so it's an insult,
No.
but I think you can use it in a gentle way.
You think?
No.
I'll try it.
Yeah, maybe
If they don't
use
know what
that
it
one.
means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't have Riz.
Yeah. True.
Good stuff. Well, that kind of brings us to our segment where we get to know Jeremy just a little bit. What a privilege to have you on the podcast, Jeremy. We've known each other for 6 years, probably.
Yeah, about 6 years, I'd say.
Seems like 6. And we had the privilege of traveling to Kenya via Paris, and that was an amazing trip in 2019. And then, man, we just always stayed in touch, always stayed connected. And so let's just get a quick update on where you are in life, man, and what brought you to this area in the first place and all those things.
Okay. So currently, I'm a dad of one child.
So far.
Yeah, so far. And
What's
I
name?
His name is Haston.
Cool.
Oh man, we had some other good names picked out
Yeah,
for
we
her.
did.
Yeah.
That's a
And
different episode.
Yes, it
I have a
is.
beautiful wife named Annie. And I am currently a CrossFit coach, and I work for the Chatham County Sheriff's Office. We moved to the Lee County area back in November of 2017, and it purely came from we found a house we could afford to buy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a big portion of what led us to Lee County, and then we met some really good people that convinced us to stay, and now we love it here.
And
So
here you are, planted in.
yeah,
Now, when I first met you, I don't remember you being quite as wide in the shoulders, shall
Swole.
we say? Swole? Can
swole.
we say swole?
Can we?
So talk about that journey. Like what motivated that for you to kind of, I don't know, I guess I'll just call it a transformation, going into CrossFit. That's a really intense journey for you. So walk us through that.
yeah. So I've been in and out of fitness basically my entire life. I actually went to college at UNC Greensboro, and I got a degree in kinesiology. It studied bodily movement, and originally thought I was going to end up going to med school or become like a physical therapist, and got really tired of going to school after getting a 4-year degree, so that kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And spent a good bit of time now no longer working out, not really being that active, and then Annie and I decided it was time to make a change, and we started going to O2 Fitness and had a lot of fun there, and then we moved down here.
Okay.
And when we moved down here, we didn't have a gym that we were going to. Stopped working out, stopped doing anything other than running. I was doing a lot of running, wasn't seeing any improvement, and I got looking at my life, and then my son was born, and I'm like, hey, I need to make a change. And I didn't really know what that change was going to be until it was Christmas Eve. My uncle, and mind you, he's in his 60s, invited me to go to a CrossFit class with him, and so I went, and he destroyed me, and I'm like, at the time I was like, 30 years old,
Right.
and he's like, man, I'm over twice your age. Like we should be swapping places. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I looked around, jumped on Google, and I found a CrossFit gym here in Sanford. They were offering a free trial, and I took them up on that and went there and got destroyed again, but this time by myself around a bunch of people I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this is what's going to change my life physically and mentally for the better. Because I know it's tough, and by it being tough and staying motivated to go, I knew it would change my life. And from there, it led to me not only being a member at the gym, but over a period of time, I got the education and then started coaching it myself.
For those listening that maybe don't know what CrossFit is, maybe I'm not totally versed in CrossFit. So what is the definition of CrossFit?
The definition of CrossFit is constantly varied functional movement performed at relative high intensity.
Wait, did that spell CrossFit just now?
No, it did not.
Constant move. No, that's not.
Yeah, constantly varied functional movement
Okay.
performed at relative high intensity.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's got a little bit of everything in it.
Right.
So you're not going to be the heaviest lifter. You're not
Right.
going to be the fastest runner, the most endurance swimmer.
Yeah.
But you're meant to try to be better than average
On all
across the
things.
board.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Jack of all
Cross.
trades kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I like what you said about that date, that moment for you.
Yeah.
And I think I can think back to a few of those moments in my life where, you just kind of evaluate, what am I doing with my life, and what's next, and what am I supposed to be doing differently? And we have those pivotal moments. Now, some people that's the end of the moment, and it just is a moment and it goes away and whatever. And other people kind of use that as leverage, a springboard to launch them into something new. So how do you position yourself for that moment? Because I think we all kind of feel maybe like there's a better version of ourselves in there somewhere. How do we get that first initial launch moment?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think that it's going to vary a lot for everybody, but you got to find not what motivates you, but what's going to keep you consistent.
Right.
And so, like, that exact moment, to elaborate a little bit more for me, was thinking about, my son was an infant, and I'm going, all right, what do I want him to see?
Yeah.
Do I want to be that dad at 40 years old that just sits on the couch and watches TV when I come home from work? Or do I want to be that dad that plays sports with my kid, takes him fishing, can go to his practices and not just sit there and yell from the sidelines, but can actually be out there,
Right.
helping with the kids and having fun myself?
Right.
And, I looked at that moment and I said, all right, motivation is always going to go away.
Yeah.
It's easy to get started, but what's going to keep you going? And so for me is thinking about the future I'm going to have with my family.
Yeah.
And so what I would say to anybody that wants to make that kind of lifestyle change is what is getting you started, but what's going to keep you in it?
Yeah.
And if you can find something to get started, it's a lot easier to find something that can keep you in it. Because the getting started is the hardest part. That's where the motivation comes in.
Right.
Once you get started, the discipline is where it needs to switch over to, because you've got to find that factor to drive you when the motivation goes away. When you wake up and you go, man, I'm just not feeling it today.
Maybe speak to how bringing other people into that journey can help you be successful with that.
So anything alone is difficult to accomplish. I don't care what you're talking about in your life. Doing anything by yourself, we're social animals, right? Yes, we do have introverts that try to claim they don't like to be around people, but guess what? They still do most of the time. They're still talking to people in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
So if you can find like-minded people, not saying that their discipline and motivation are the same, but the pathway to get there is similar, and you can surround yourself with those kind of people, it makes it harder for you to fall off the quote-unquote bandwagon, right? So if you can loop yourself in with people whose overall goal of, whether it's getting healthier physically, mentally, emotionally, or a combination of all of that, and they're trying to do it in a similar style as you're going to be a lot more likely to stick with it.
I imagine in the field of work that you do, that being healthy physically plays a big part too in your job.
Oh, absolutely. But, you really hit on the being healthy physically part in being a law enforcement officer. While that's very important, it's a lot more important to be healthy mentally and emotionally, because in law enforcement, if you're doing your job, you're going to see a lot of things that people aren't meant to see often. And so physically, yes, you're going to have the fights, the car chases, the foot chases, the fun stuff, right? But, how are you going to process the bad scenes that you're going to see a lot of?
Yeah, and potentially play back.
Exactly. And so you got to find that healthy outlet. Like for me, that was the gym. For other people I know, it's actually fishing.
Right.
But what I find is, because I'm taking care of myself physically, that helps my mental and emotional side as well. So not only am I physically able to play with my son, but if I get into a physical altercation at work or something like that, I am more prepared, not just mentally and emotionally, but to actually handle that situation physically.
Yeah. And I think we can all agree that when we don't feel good physically, we don't feel good mentally or emotionally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Shane, you had any physical altercations at your work these days?
Michael.
Michael.
Michael, yeah.
Oh man. Well, that was our segment, Grilling Jeremy. And Jeremy, I hope you feel grilled, both sides.
Sure.
All right. That's it. Well, it kind of brings us to our challenge of the week here. And, do you want to issue this week's challenge?
So I would say this week, challenge yourself to do something physically that you haven't done in a long time. Like, I don't care if it's going out and trying to do like a cartwheel. Now be careful with that one, but for an example, or, just go on a walk or a run, do something that you wouldn't typically do that requires some physicality to it.
I'm in for that.
Yeah.
Shane, you in for that?
Oh, yeah.
The
Cartwheel.
backflips off the diving board do not count.
Okay.
You're already doing.
So see both y'all in class at 5 a.m. tomorrow?
We're going to start skateboarding.
Yes. Michael loves skateboards. So yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Come
There we go.
longboarding, skateboarding.
Oh, longboard. Yes, longboard, Michael. There's your challenge of the week. We thank you, Jeremy, for that challenge. And yeah, I'm in for it. All right. Well, that brings us to our next segment here. We're going to like to end with a game here. We're going to pull up a classic called Taboo. Taboo. You can go to playtaboo.com. Yes. And you can play this with just anybody. Typically, the way the game works is that you'll have a card. There's a card on the phone here. And it's got a word at the top, and it's got 5 taboo words. And those taboo words, you're not allowed to say. If we say them, we don't get the point for that card, and we go on to the next one. I'm going to team up with Michael. Jeremy's going to team up with Shane, and we'll see how this goes here. So I'll start the round with Michael. I try to get him to guess our words. Shane's going to keep an eye on my card to make sure I'm not cheating and
Only if I could see
saying the wrong words. Yes, get your readers out. So let's go with our first word, and we got 60 seconds on the timer, and we start now. All right, this first one, if you are hunting but not with a gun, you would use a
Bow,
and
arrow.
and this is the person that is if you get accused of something and you have to
Judge, jury,
but the
defendant, accuser,
lawyer,
lawyer,
the one that's trying to put the person away.
prosecutor.
Good. If it is really bright outside, I might put on my
Sunglasses.
good. This is not allowed, and it's a thing that's not allowed anywhere because it's
Bad.
and
Not good.
and
Evil.
you will go to jail, if you do it.
Prison.
Um,
No,
it's
Pass.
okay. This is one of these things that's not believable because it's such a
fantasy.
it was tall tale.
Tall
And the last one was illegal. I don't know.
Illegal. Oh,
Yeah,
say I don't listen to. I don't follow those illegal things.
All right, yeah, that's not what I heard.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so we got 3 points, and Shane, you're up with Jeremy.
So LeBron
James,
played
basketball
his first
game.
team.
Oh, Cavaliers, Cleveland.
That's the town, but not the town, but the. Not the town. What am I trying to say?
I just skip it.
No, we're not skipping it. Come on, it's the Reds,
Cincinnati.
not the town, but the United.
All right, Shane, we're not very
Come
good
on.
at this. I told you to skip it. Come on.
All right, let's see here. Granny's mom. I can't. This is harder than I thought. How about
time's up?
Ohio?
Ohio.
Did you say
couldn't get
Ohio?
it. He couldn't say state, so he got
Yeah,
stuck
I
on.
was stuck on it. Gosh,
Oh man!
Maybe we
All
could
You're
right.
saying
Jeremy.
town. You should have
I know.
said
I was saying not the town. I said not the town.
Did you not say city?
Well, I meant to say city, but I was saying town.
But he wants the state, so
But
all
I
right.
wanted to stay.
All right, let's. Michael, you're up, sir, and
Okay.
you got to get me to guess as many as possible. We got a 3-0 lead. I think we just got to play it safe here. So,
Okay.
Oh, we're coming back.
okay, I'm ready for you.
All right. Ready?
Yep,
And begin. Okay, so it's not Mickey. It's
Minnie Mouse.
Oh, this is
Yep.
crazy.
I've got something on my shoulders, and it
It's
brings me low. It's
a heavy weight on your
weighted to
shoulder.
sin. It's like a
Guilt, shame.
close, but it's you're right there within the same vein.
Let's see, guilty.
That's charged.
I don't know.
Okay,
Skip it if you need to.
okay, we're gonna skip. Dang. Okay, welcome to the savannah.
Africa, Lion King,
No, think sand.
sand, grass. What?
Sand.
Savannah?
Yeah,
Bananas.
savannah. Oh my gosh.
Casino.
Okay, never mind. Cause I'm all right. Let me skip.
Is it Georgia?
Okay,
Your time's
so
got to be up.
when I'm using my shirt, I put it together by.
Button it up.
I can't. You say shirt? Good grief.
This is Taboo.
I'm out of time. Yep.
Is
that
that
was
a
it.
time?
You got one.
Jeremy, there's hope.
All right, so it's actually not out of reach here because I feel like I could have gotten 4 if I didn't.
What
get
was
tongue
the
tied here.
savannah?
Yeah, what were those?
Desert.
The desert,
Yeah, Savannah Desert.
the savannah,
about
and
the
the desert
Sahara,
are not
man?
the
Sahara
same.
Desert. Oh yeah, well I
Sahara.
think yeah. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Savannah Desert. Yeah.
Oh, my kids.
Grass.
will
It's a
love that.
savannah. It's a desert. You know, they're related,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Close.
Yes.
In my head, they were related.
All right, so we are cruising here. Jeremy, you're up here, and Michael, you can spot over his shoulder. I'm
on,
sure he's
Jeremy.
going to behave himself. So,
Give me a little softball.
yes.
Get it out.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. All right. Cupid's holiday.
Valentine's Day.
All right. All right. If you were going to go to an in-law's house for a while, you might pack a
Suitcase.
Okay.
Yeah. Pack my bags.
All right. At an event where 2 people join hands,
Wedding.
a kid normally comes down the aisle.
Wedding ceremony.
What are they doing? Like
A
what's it
flower.
called? Yeah. Flower what?
Flower child. Flower bear. No, I don't know. Flower.
Ain't no way.
Female. A child female.
Girl. Flower girl.
Yes. And we're out of time.
Sweating.
Did you get 3?
We got 3.
Okay, so a respectable 4-3 score. Well done. And Michael, you and I did win, but that was
We were not good.
Man,
We were not good, but
we
boy,
do
did
need
have fun.
practice.
So I think it should be noted that was my first time ever playing Taboo.
I think that was mine too, honestly. I had to look it up before I came. I was like, what is taboo?
Yeah, it's a good one.
It
It's
is.
a good one. It's a fun for a little group there. Yeah, bust it out when you're waiting at the restaurant or whatever. It's a good one. Playtaboo.com. We thank you for their sponsor. All right. Well, we talked a couple weeks ago about your dog leaving us a 1-star review. Well, since then, we've actually found that I found who left us the 1-star review.
Who was it?
Yeah,
Call
well,
them out.
yeah, we're going to call some people out here. These are actually some students of mine and good kids. And I'm not sure why they left a 1-star review, but I think if you listen to this review, then you'll maybe understand it. I'll just read the first part. Discovering the Fountains of Youth podcast was a delightful surprise amidst my usual search on the podcast app. Hosted by the dynamic duo Micah and Shane, this podcast is a refreshing journey into the realms of health, wellness, and longevity. I can't go on, but it's literally like
Oh my goodness!
pages.
Wow.
I'm assuming that's AI generated, but it's interesting. So the whole thing is fantastic. Just a great review. So read the review, but then I don't know why it's 1 star. We would actually prefer the other way if you could.
Yeah, it's actually
Give us a negative review, but give us 5 stars.
There you go.
That'd be
That
a
would
little
be
bit
awesome.
better. We'd
Yes.
like that better.
Yes.
So quick shout out to Colin D. You know who you are. Ben Wolf. Yeah. Marshall,
Bailey's.
and Zach Lehman. Yeah. So a couple of guys there that are faithful listeners. We appreciate you guys. Send in the fan art too. We like that.
yes.
But that kind of brings up you can't always trust reviews.
You cannot. You cannot. And Amazon is like one of the best places.
Oh, they got some good reviews up there.
to go check out some reviews.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll read a couple here. So this was on a Roomba vacuum. You have a Roomba?
Something like it. It's
Yeah.
not the same brand, but yeah.
Yeah. Have one?
I got a Roomba.
Michael, you need one for your car.
I need one for my car. Yeah, thank you for that. Shane. I appreciate that.
Do you have a name for them?
No.
No.
I don't think
Okay.
so. Oh, we just call them RoboVac. Yeah.
There you go. Well, they named theirs Bob. But
all right.
so very disappointing. We named ours Bob, and let me tell you, he wasn't a hardworking man I was hoping for. Bob spent most of his employment driving from one random side of the house to the other like a junkie, looking for his next fix. He actually was cleaning minimal at best and couldn't find his docking station to save his life.
Oh.
In the week I had Bob, he never finished a cleaning cycle. One day while at work, the app texted me to say Bob needed my assistance because he was stuck on a cliff. Worried about Bob's safety, I came home to find him passed out in the middle of the dining room rug. That night, the family said goodbye to Bob.
Oh, Bob. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
poor
kind of
Bob.
sweet.
Oh, I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah. Don't go off the cliff, Bob.
No,
But there's
he was
some,
too young.
there's some
That's really
crazy
funny.
ones
You
out
got
there.
some more, a couple more rogue reviews?
Yeah, I got one here. It's on the noise canceling headphones.
Okay.
Do I have any of those?
I had some, yeah.
Canceling headphones.
Yeah, you lost some, didn't you, Michael?
Yep, in my.
Mm.
I found them.
In
Were
your
they in your car?
They were not in my car.
Okay.
But thank you again for that, Shane.
Roomba.
Bob ate them.
There you go. So this is on noise canceling headphones. So, not so funny story. Someone in the apartment unit above us got stabbed. According to the cop who interviewed us, the attacker rang the upstairs doorbell, and when the guy answered, the attacker forced his way in and stabbed the guy. You want to know what the scary part is? I didn't hear a thing. Thanks to my amazing HyperX
Oh,
Cloud
man.
2 headphones. I got them on Amazon for $99.99. These things work as advertised. Probably the best noise canceling headphones I've ever owned. 10 out of 10 would buy again.
Did you work that case, Jeremy?
Yeah, I don't think I quite
You
worked.
interviewed that witness.
Right.
Like, what'd you hear, buddy?
Oh, Lord. But yeah, so
Oh, that's
those are a
tough.
couple.
It is a
Yeah.
common response, though. I didn't hear anything.
But for different reasons.
All right. Well, thank you for those rogue reviews, Shane. And that makes it a wrap for today's episode of Fountains of Youth. We hope you picked up some motivation and a few laughs along the way.
And we would love to thank our guest, Jeremy, for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
And a big thank you to Michael, our technical director.
You're so welcome.
And finally, a big thank you to you for listening. Your support means the world to us.
So make sure you check us out on the socials through the links in the show notes. We'd love to interact with you there.
And make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to those. That way you'll get a notification when a new episode drops.
We just don't need no rogue review.
Yeah, leave a review.
5 stars only.
That's right. No rogue reviews. But please stay connected, stay genuine, keep spreading those positive vibes. Let's pour one out for Ponce.
All right, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yes, we will. No NPCs here.
Nope.
There might be.
Hey, Jeff.
They're just out in the corner, just like
Yeah,
stuck in the
behind
corner
us.
trying to go somewhere. Yeah. That's good. I could use a few NPCs to help around the house.
True.
Yeah, must like that Roomba.
Roomba, Bob, the NPC.
Bob was an NPC.
Oh,
fella.
man. Poor Bob.
He's not
didn't make it.
personally crying at the moment.
He was too young.